won't take my sunshine away. Nara pura pera yumanaya laya. Nara pura pera yumanaya laya. Nara pura pera yumana. Pura pera yumana. Pura pera yumanaya laya. I'm also surprised in how much the events of 1770 and 1788 still get mixed up and mixed together in Australia's culture. For some, it's easy to portray James Cook as a villain, to blame him for every injustice to First Nations people of this country since the HMB Endeavour landed right here in 1770. I guess the general feeling being that if he hadn't explored the southern seas and mapped the east coast here, then shared his findings and told the British where to come, then the first fleet would not have come here in 1788, the British colony would never have been established, and the frontier wars would not have occurred, and so on and so on. But for me, he's just part of the story. A story that is now, and in recent years, being told in a more holistic truth, inclusive of both sides, the explorers and the explored, so to speak. There is more recognition now of our Aboriginal history and Aboriginal culture than there has ever been. More Aboriginal words and place names, nations and clan groups are seeping into our everyday. And there are more visual reminders through arts, sports and events. I am both proud and thankful to have seen that change, because I honestly believe that it is only through true recognition and acceptance by all of our past that we can ever hope for a reconciled future. But there is still so much more to do. Later this year, as Annie Barb touched on, we will be given a chance to vote in a referendum to recognise Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples in the Constitution through an Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander voice to Parliament. It is not my place to tell you how to vote. I would just hope that you carefully consider the options and the impacts of what is being proposed, and that you use your right to vote effectively. And with that, I'll just go off my soapbox. And on to some really great news that I want to finish off with. You may have heard the news early last month that Trinity College in Cambridge, England, agreed to return the 4 spears held in their collection. Ownership of the spears will be transferred to the Laparoos Aboriginal community, and we are currently working through the details and logistics of how and when that will occur. I'll try to keep you all posted. As you know, or you may know, these spears are the only known remaining spears that were part of the 40 or so that were taken from this very spot by the Cook Endeavour in 1770. They are significant and they are finally coming home. So we better get that new visitor centre built as soon as we can. And I'm looking around to a few partners that I've got here in the audience.
No pressure.
Because we want them to get back on country. And I'll leave you with that. Thank you.
I want to thank Annie Joyce and Annie Barb for their wonderful role in the country, and I want to thank you particularly, Marlene, for the tremendous partnership that governments at all levels have had with the larger community, both on this side of the bay and on the other side of the bay, going back a very, very long time. I also acknowledge my colleagues who are here today, parliamentary and council colleagues, but I particularly want to acknowledge Bruce Baird, my predecessor, who I see is here today, and together with Greg and Mark and Nolan and Kurnell have been working together as part of that Promote 2020 initiative, and have already seen the establishment of the wonderful installations that we have here along the coast of this very, very important place. I was here a couple of years ago when I was Prime Minister, and I bumped into a group of nurses who had been over in London for a conference, a group of Indigenous nurses, and we were non-indigenous health. And they took the opportunity to come over, and they were looking at the installation which represents both the whale bones of the cultural figure here for the Darrell people, and the Guigal people in particular, but also represents the hull of the Endeavour and how these two things came together. And there was no crowds, there was no media, there was none of that. Just I, with a few of my staff, and because I wanted to come and see it, because COVID had prevented me from being here. And I spoke to them, and I was so thrilled about how much they loved it, about how much it really told the story of this place. This is a very special place. It's a complex place. That first meeting of cultures was difficult. It was violent. It was full of lacking in understanding of two peoples that had no idea about one another. And particularly today we acknowledge then Lieutenant James Cook, who became Captain Cook. And I really appreciate what you said, Nolene, because it's very difficult for us in today's times to look back at others' times and apply the things we know today and our standards to them. It's unfair to do that, because James Cook was I think, someone who represented the best intentions of the Enlightenment age, not coming to harm, but to seek to understand as the scientist and the navigator he was, although he did wear a uniform. And it is true that on that day it set in chain all of the events which Nolene spoke of. Were it not him, probably it would have been someone else. And how those events would have turned out, we won't know, but I'd be surprised, given the history of the rest of the colonised nations around the world, if it would be any different. And so this place is a place I've always thought of as reconciliation, because I think the spirit of everyone who comes together on these occasions is one that seeks to find that path forward. And so I'll join with Nolene in saying you do have a choice to make later this year, and it's yours. Not mine, it's no one else's, but yours. And I'd encourage you to consider all the things that Nolene has said. I have great confidence in this nation. I have great confidence in the people of this country to always find a way forward. Unity doesn't always come from agreeing, but it always comes from respect. And I trust and pray that will be the way in which we find this path forward together, and we commit ourselves to that in this wonderful place of reconciliation.
Sutherland is a Highland Scottish clan originating in the north of Scotland in the district of Sutherland. The clan was thought to have been started by a Flemish nobleman known as Fuskin. It is possible that Fuskin was a warlord employed by the Norman kings during the Norman conquest of Scotland, to pacify its subjects. Fuskin's grandson Hugh de Moravia was granted land in the district of Sutherland, which translates into land to the south. Hugh's children began to adopt the surname. The motto of the Sutherland clan is sans peur, meaning without fear. The crest of the clan features a Catamount salient proper. When the 18th Earl of Sutherland died in 1766, he had no male heir. A legal battle ensued over the succession of the title between his daughter Elizabeth and George Sutherland of Force, who was in the direct male line of the original Earls of Sutherland. The case was heard by the House of Lords, and in 1771 they decided in favour of Elizabeth. The families living in Clan Sutherland's territory were particularly hard hit by the Highland clearances. The Duke of Sutherland at the time decided that the interior of Sutherland was better suited to sheep farming rather than human occupation. Thousands of members of the Sutherland clan were evicted from their lands, and many settled in the United States, Canada, and Australia. The historic seat of the clan is the Dunrobin Castle, located in Golspie, Scotland. The house and grounds of the castle are open to the public. A clan room in the castle has been set aside for a repository for the history of the clan. The Sutherlands still retain private residences within the castle walls. The Clan Sutherland Society was founded in 1897 and reconstituted in 1977 as headquartered in Dunrobin Castle. The Society plans worldwide gatherings and events. Currently the society claims members from 13 countries.